Well, good morning. Thank you for having me here. We're kind of new. We're not even 7 weeks old as far as our organization goes. The transition of the authority between DGS and our office is still underway. So really, I'm kind of a concept and a work in progress. So you saw the little under construction thing. That's what we are. We're kind of a new idea starting out. What Francisco said earlier about things that haven't changed since the 70s, well, this is procurement. We're kind of doing the same things that we did in the 70s. We're just kind of reformatting different fonts. But pretty much it hasn't really changed. If you've been around as long as I have, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So when we took over this authority from DGS, we basically, oh, by the way, if you don't know, our authority is very limited. It's what we call the non-delegated reportable projects. And if you want me to explain that, I can. Some of you probably understand that. So we went in with the thought process that we wanted to do things differently. I mean, if we were just going to move it from DGS to technology department, what's the point? So we decided that, we're going to flip the model. I'm kind of a procurement heretic anyway, so I thought, what the hell? I can't get fired. So we decided, well, I can, but, hey, you just get another job, right? So really what we were focusing on is to streamline the processes, make faster, smaller procurements, manage vendors and contracts much better than we have in the past, and then start collecting data on performance outcomes. I think that's kind of the most important things. We run all these procurements, but we really don't we do some really well and we do some really bad. And so, there isn't any consistency in how the models are put together. It's been kind of an intensive people process, really. So as we're moving forward, we got this unit and we had a 50% vacancy rate from the DGS transition. So we're having to hire a lot of people. So our focus is getting really highly talented people. We decided to take an organizational focus on procurement rather than a people-driven focus. So we're organizing our teams into pods. So rather than if you've ever worked, how many have done a procurement with DGS? Oh, wow. Okay, good. Let's just skip ahead there. No, I'm kidding. You only get one analyst kind of. Well, we're sending you a team now. And so you have a lot of coverage. You have a lot of different ideas. And it's less focused on that individual's comfort levels. So the other thing is, in collaborating, like Francisco said, we are part of basically the life cycle now. We appear in stages 2, 3, and 4. So that kind of shows you that the procurement has a beginning and definitely an end that's very important to you and your projects. The other thing is we're taking kind of a customer-centric focus on this, and that is that we're also looking at the vendors as one of our partners. And those of you who are estate people, you're actually our customers. That's the way we like to look at both of you. No adversarial relationships. We want to make sure that, this is a highly collaborative area, although it may not seem if you've been in one before. And this is, we get that when she was talking downstairs about MSU. This is the world of MSU, believe it or not. As many things as that are defined in procurement, a lot of it's been made up over the years. So as we go forward, we're trying to look at things of building a new infrastructure in procurement. So that under construction area, this is I should have spelled the acronym out, but the acronym here, it's an RFQP, which is Request for Qualifying Proposals. This is where we pre-qualify all of our vendors first before even doing a procurement. So you talk about how to make things streamlined. We're taking a lot of the things that we do every single time. So for example, if we've been dealing with one of the integrators for 50 years, we qualify them on every single procurement. And they could do 10 a year, and we do it every single time with them. So it's kind of, why do we keep doing that? Definition of insanity. Let's do it one time and update it, start collecting data on them on a frequent basis. The other thing is we also want to leverage the project approval process to make stronger procurements. As Francisco showed you throughout, that one of the things we're missing is a solid development of business requirements and a focus on what we're trying to do that carries through the whole procurement. This isn't just a start and stop, it's a continuum. The other thing is it's also developing, like I mentioned, metrics and data to show where we've been successful and who we've been successful with. The other thing is also new templates. It's changed the format. I mean, literally, we've been running the same, we call it 10-section procurement since probably 1970. So you go, really, we're doing the same thing. Definition of insanity again. How many times we keep doing this and expect a different result? The other thing is also to train our staff to be more focused on customer delivery, customer service, and those type of things. What we're trying to really focus on is increased bidder participation because, again, getting one bid pretty much doesn't give you many options, does it? Also, as I mentioned before, redundant processes. We do a lot of things over and over. We repeat them. Even within the process, we repeat them several times. The recognition that time is money for both us and the vendors. I mean, we need to basically, we want to start off with a 6-month expectation of completion of procurement. It's not radical, it's actually doable. Designing these things to be more efficient, the interactions that we do, how we build things, the models we use, more efficiency in those. Reducing the size and complexity of these things. Sometimes they're just too large to be successful. Too many things have to happen. Too many things are going on at one time. If we phase and structure things better, we can have better outcomes. We're also big believers in what we call 6611. If you're not familiar with that, that's basically a negotiation process, or in essence, a best and final offer. We're firm believers in that. What do we need from you on your end? Because again, if you're somebody who works with us, it's all about the project. As a matter of fact, that's kind of our mantra. It's project first, procurement second. Governance is important. Naturally, resources that are committed to the project. I mean, I don't know how many times I've done procurements in my career that they were under-resourced. Day one of the project, you meet one person, the project manager, and it's like, that's it. You're the only one there. And then this thing has to be built on the fly, which doesn't work well. Complete requirements. Again, it's one of those things, know what you're trying to accomplish. You just can't build it as you're going along. And the other thing is good internal technical and business relationships. We found a lot of times the business and technical areas really aren't integrated or working well together. So that's something that up front we need to have straightened out. Process reengineering. I know this is kind of a broken record, but there's a lot to be said. You want cuts, then that doesn't mean you get to change it to do what you do. So, we have to take that approach that modification of our processes has to take place. It doesn't mean that you do something efficiently. It just means you're going to try to contort something that wasn't designed to do it. And that's not a recipe for success. So, and the other thing is, a commitment to change in your organization. I mean, a lot of organizations say they want to change, but when you start to bring in new things, it kind of gets ground up. We all know that process. Openness to competition. You just don't meet the first guy that came in and sold you on doing this and want to get there at the end with them. You have to be open-minded about other products and services that are out there to help you. And then having a blueprint for success is really, really important. Planning well for it, getting through it in time, resources, those are all things that we all do in project management, and that's very important for us to do. So unlike Francisco, I'm really fast. I get through things. So really, and my point simply is this: we're building this today, and you're going to see a different procurement model in the future. We've actually, at this point in our transition with DGS, we're keeping a lot of the projects in flight, so they don't look really that much different today. The newer models you're going to see are going to have a more technical focus. We are actually going to lean more heavily into the technical solutions, the architectures, those type of things that we need to know up front, not when we're in development. So those are the things that you're going to notice different when you start to deal with me and my team. That's going to be the difference in us, and we hope that you can give us your support on doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Francisco.